Hello, Jamie from Inky&Scrappy, sharing with you today my Craft Roulette challenge number 189, an A2 holiday scene. So when random came up as Postage, I immediately thought of the special delivery stamp set from Fawn and the little envelope that says airmail on it. And then it just kind of went from there. I saw the little mail satchel and I thought, ooh, that might fit across the one dog, and it did almost perfectly. I had to trim it a little bit, but it worked really well. Of course, I brought in the special delivery package add-on for some Christmas boxes. So once I had the postage stamp, and of course I thought mailman, and usually we give our mailman a gift of some kind and a handmade card, because that's just what I do. And so I thought, well, I might as well get this one underway or out of the way. So I have my mailman's Christmas card already done. I was thinking when I was stamping, I was thinking of doing like a street of dog houses. And I probably could have just done one dog house. But, and I probably wouldn't have had to do all the things that I did. But this one is definitely just a very image heavy card, and I wouldn't, I love how it turned out. I definitely probably could have done 3 individual ones with this one if you'd have taken each little theme that I built around each dog house and done a focal point on a A2 card front. It would have looked just as gorgeous, and I could have gotten 3 cards out of it. I almost went that way, but then I decided, no, I'm just going to do what my original plan was. It happens. So this one has a lot of coloring. Feel free to skip the coloring. I did zoom through it at about 21 times my actual coloring speed. It probably took me an hour and a half to color everything. And when I say I haven't been in a coloring mood lately, this one just kind of happened. And so I was happy that I could just color and go to town. And so I watched Kathy Zilsky and Mary Fungun. I kind of listened to their chatter and watched them make their cards while I was coloring. And so it kind of broke up that coloring time. And it was a good time. So I tried to stick with 2 color blends. I used pre-done color matches that I already have on my blog if you were interested in them, with my Ohuhu bullet nib markers. So I just kind of pulled from there. Now, the colors this week were supposed to be forest inspired or woodland colors, and so colors you'd find in the forest, I think that's what it was. And so the blue sky, yellow sun, the greens, of course, for the trees. I did 2 different tones of green, and then browns for the bushes or the underbrush maybe, and the bark, and then black for the dirt. And did I miss any colors there? I think that was it. I tried not to. I didn't want to bring in red because I suppose there's red berries in the woods, but for me in our back, the woods that surround our house, I don't think I have anything that's too red. At least nothing that I'm willing to touch that's red. Does that make sense? I think we have berries, but I think they're purple berries. I don't even think they're red berries. They might be a deep red berry. Anyways, I'm babbling at this point. Sorry. For my dogs, I kept them fairly simple with some different shades of brown. And I think maybe I did 3 tones once in a while for the most part. I didn't color them like any dogs I know. I was just coloring dogs. Sometimes it's fun just to not overthink it. Here are all of the colors that I used on the card. So yes, I definitely went heavy on my neutrals for this one, and then I tried to keep my color palette fairly simple for my pops of color. So I am bringing in Watercolor Wishes cardstock from Fawn. I'm just using that purple speckly one. It's kind of got a purple and blue tone to it. I am using my dirty stencil because I didn't clean it yet. But it made for a gorgeous snowflake. So I didn't actually add any ink color to my blending brush. I just grabbed my purple Oxide ink blending brush and just used whatever was left on it, because I really wasn't concerned about a heavy purple color. I just wanted to add a little bit of interest to that background, and I absolutely loved how the blue and purple kind of mixed on that first stencil. Happy accidents. It's what happens when you don't clean. Sometimes you get a happy accident, right? Sometimes not, but sometimes it works, and this time it worked. So I did bring in Lawn Fawn's stitched hillside die and cut that with some metallic white cardstock, so it kind of has a little bit of a glow to it, or metallic fleck to it. I did kind of bring in my scissors here and cut the paws apart. I did cut all of my images with my brother's Scan and Cut, and I did not give them a shadow or an outline. So it did cut on the line. Sometimes it cuts the line off. Mine is not, as many times as I have tried to align it, it's as close as it's ever going to get. And so I know it sometimes cuts off part of the line, but it works fine. For the most part, you get, you get your image. It's all good. So I laid out my card. For the most part, I wanted to make sure that I had room for my images, or at least what I had in my head was going to come out onto paper. Now, I did leave the one present white because I thought it would work. And being that I went with white snow for my kind of my base there, it just ended up being, to me, it was just too much white, and I thought it kind of got hidden. And so I will rectify that with my yellow marker in a little bit. And it also gave me pause to kind of see what color I needed to bring in there too, which was kind of, it wasn't a bad thing that I didn't color it right away, because I probably wouldn't have colored it yellow. So I wanted to give my mailman here, my mail dog, I don't know, mailman, mail pup, my mail pup treats, but I just couldn't figure out how to add it to him without kind of making it not work. I probably should have found the others. There's a smaller bone with the little bow on it, I think maybe it's from Christmas Dreams by Lawn Fawn. That would have maybe worked to put in his satchel, like one that he had gotten. And so I didn't bring any more in because I was like, I have more than enough images the way it is. So I just decided maybe the one that was holding the cookie was holding the cookie to give to the mailman when he got to his house. And the one that had the bone in his mouth, maybe he missed the mailman, because I tend to do that a lot when it comes to getting his Christmas gift out to the mailbox. I always think I'm going to beat him to the mailbox, and then he's early that morning. It happens. So now to figure out my sentiment. So I didn't actually put my mail dog on there yet because I wanted to make sure I didn't cover him up, and I wanted to have enough room for my sentiment. So I ended up going with the Happy Holidays border die, I think that's what it's called, from Lawn Fawn. And if anybody has a better tip for making that line actually go straight, please let me know, because I suck at it. So I kept it in there thinking that was going to help me line it up, and it didn't help me line it up. Don't ask. And then, because I extra didn't take out the middle parts, because I was like, well, if I take them out, I'm going to get it out of the thingy, and then it's not going to work. And, well, it didn't work anyway, so it really didn't matter. So I pick all of those out. I'm going to have to add a little bit more glue onto my ends here to make them stick down. And I guess the snow must have been packed down over on the other side there, and so that one's kind of got a downhill slant. Anyways, I did add the tittle on my eye for the holiday, and then I'm bringing in a stamp set from Road Stamps that says Postal Worker, because Santa is already taken. I think it's the Leah stamp set. It's like a small one. I don't even think it's available anymore, but I liked that sentiment on it. And then, of course, wishing you love, joy, and what did I say? It doesn't say happiness? I don't remember. We'll see that when we get that far. And then I did pop up my little mail dog there on some foam adhesive. And then we're not done yet, because with Christmas lights, you need to have glossy accents to make them pop. There's just something about Christmas lights on a card with glossy accents that just makes my little heart happy. It just gives it that like glossy shine, and I don't know. I love it. So I add that onto all of my Christmas lights, and then of course I need a little bit of glitter, so I'm going to add some glitter on top of the stars on my trees. So once I am complete here, let's go over all of our parameters for Craft Roulette this week. It is an A2 card, and it uses forest style colors, so greens and browns and blacks, and then of course blue sky, yellow sun, and the little purple flowers. For the element, it had to have something that starts with an H. So I have 3 dog houses, and then of course happy and holiday also start with an H. And the random was postage, so my postage stamp is on my little airmail letters. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. Make sure to go check out Mary Fun Gun and Craft Roulette and maybe participate for a change. It's a good time. Oh, a treat. Anyways, have an amazing rest of your day. Keep getting inky. Bye.